When I was unprofitable, I used to know the bias, which from this example is very easy to tell we're bearish, but I used to struggle with positioning. And that's until I started to trade liquidity and liquidity on advanced level, not just what I was doing of waiting for a sweep of equal highs, equal lows, and then buying or shorting from there. All right. Because most of the people will tell you their market moves like this. And I'm always saying, okay, it might go higher, but it will go like this, taking liquidity underneath. Okay. Because that's how just market moves. It moves from one liquidity to another, needing liquidity. Liquidity is the fuel for this vehicle, which is price action. All right. So in here, am I look simple? Okay, that price is just doing this. You might say that, but once in live market, it's completely different. If price is just right here, okay, it doesn't exist. You might place yourself here. You might place yourself here because this high was the one that made the structure break lower, but then it comes back higher. So maybe then you're in your mind, you're thinking that this is now protected, this is now bullish, and then you get trapped again. You get trapped on the shorts and you get trapped on the longs. That's what I call the smart money trap cycle. Okay, and even on this position, once we take liquidity, you won't take advantage of this long that much. Even if you want to play the retracement, you won't. Because if I go on lower time frames, all right, that's just not higher time frame smart money traps, but also lower time frame ones. Okay? Because in this case, it would have been a news move. And as you see, price broke this into immediately reacting from it. People are already trying to take advantage of the retracement right here. And then they get trapped. And as they get trapped, okay, as you see a double sweep to the downside, which you can consider a trap, you can position yourself, I don't know, on the order block that retested, put your stop loss on the low, and perhaps you can take advantage of the 3R, even though it's risky because price is still bearish. You can maybe get yourself tagged out break even. It depends. You would have to refine it, but at least you get yourself out of break even, which is what happens a lot in my strategy, because I wait for the traps. Because if you follow the traps, I'm always saying this: if you start to adopting smart money traps, all right, if you understand the concept, you're immediately profitable without even adding other stuff of the strategy. You're immediately profitable. Okay. And the reason I get a lot of break evens is because price moves a lot in my way, moves enough in my way. And that's it because I understand there's traps and I understand there needs to be a reaction out of them afterwards. Okay? And this also. But yeah, guys. And how do you position yourself in this structure? Well, you position yourself after you see liquidities get taken. All right. In here, you have these equal highs that also form a previous daily high. Boom, you see that get taken, you take it. It's not because you see this beautiful rejection that it means you will reject from there. It isn't. Okay. We take it, we go lower. We build up more liquidity for this level right here. Come higher, we take this inducement, which is a secondary high low that isn't really protected. Why? Because it hasn't taken no liquidity. So some people are consider this as an aggressive order block. Okay, we have two. We have the initial one and you have the intermediate one, which is slightly aggressive. People are considering like this. Well, I just consider it as a trap. It's too aggressive. And what does this high do? It didn't take no liquidity, so it isn't valid. Okay, your order blocks need to at least take liquidity in order to become valid on. Okay, but even then, if you're placing an order block that took liquidity, but you wait for a huge move and then for price to do another huge move to come back to it, it will become a trap because then it has become too visible. Okay, you can trade this trap here, right? But once it's at the clear at the moment, okay, because it will only become a trap once it is too visible for everybody. Once it takes out this, then it can take it. Do you get what I'm saying? Fucking hell, these ads are fucking pissing me off. And yeah, you just have to trade at the moment, right? Trade at the moment, go into the lower time frames and find a position there. But you gotta be careful because, like I've told you previously, there's not only smart money traps in the higher time frame, right? There's also in the lower time frames. So if we go back on a 5 minute here, even on that example, I don't know, we just had London coming higher to sweep this, but maybe if people don't trade Asia session or they trade support resistance, they're looking at this rejection from the support resistance level, right? Price always bouncing from it, bouncing from it. Oh, break a structure, and then big massive push to take those people out. And in the future, it become a trap, like we mentioned. Okay, and here, kind of a double sweep, and then good breaker structure right here. In here, that wasn't much. Price was just stopping, but you can see how it doesn't make a smart man trap here. It only gives a change of character and goes up. That's why. That's because we're in the London close session. All right, go watch my other videos, especially the other one where I told you my liquidity strategy, where we had the London close trade. London close is very good because you usually give a retracement of the day or a retracement to look for London price action, which is exactly what it did, right? Then we continue. We continue. We have the sweep. We have price continue to go higher to an efficiency where I'm going to show you afterwards. Here, yes, price took some liquidity here. Okay. But then it's a bunch of traps here. It's a bunch of traps. Like we're taking liquidity here. Okay. To then go lower. To then go higher. To then go lower. That's just how price moves. Move from one liquidity to another. All right. And then boom, there's this. And then finally breaks the liquidity lower. All right. And the efficiency level I was mentioning is this structure right here. If you want to know more, you can go watch my videos, how to determine the bias, the EPA, which is the efficiency and inefficiency in price action. But that's just basically it. And notice how this is not even a pair I trade. This is Euro GBP, right? I only trade EU and GU. And you can do this with whatever pair you'd like. Liquidity runs the markets. Okay? And you cannot be trapped in these scenarios and not change your bias just because you got stopped out. After you've seen some liquidity get taken, you try to long it. For example, you've seen some shorts, some downside liquidity get taken, you try to, I said short or buy. You try to buy in this example, you get stopped out. That doesn't mean that instantly you gotta switch your bias to bearish. Okay? Because most of the times you just get stopped out and then price move your way. That's because you placed yourself in a smart money trap. And you gotta understand and stop thinking of market moving like this, because when you jump on live charts and real life examples, right, you don't see what they taught you in the course. That was all drawn beautiful, easy, okay, with the lines, because the reality is you jump on the markets and you see something like this, right? This looks way more realistic because you jump on live markets and you know what the hell is going on. And I've made a previous video on this, okay, that you can also check out. You can realistically check out every video on my channel and you'll become profitable, okay? I got people that done the same, all right? I've got a mentorship. I teach people privately on the one-to-one basis, but there's people that have become profitable and that have seen huge results just by putting in the work and watching every single video I do, okay? I'm not saying the only way you have to become profitable is that you have to um, buy buy from me or buy from any other. Okay, you can definitely do it uh, by just watching the videos, which is completely for free and putting in a lot of work, right? But it's gonna cost you more time, and it's perhaps gonna cost you more work. It depends on how valuable your time is. Okay, but you can definitely do it, and uh, not every guru will tell you this. Okay, but as you can see, this becomes a trap, and then you get trapped here. You get trapped here as well, because as soon as we sweep this, you instantly think that we're bullish, but we're still bearish. Okay, and then because I will sweep this, you try to do this, you get stopped out again, and then stopped out again, and then maybe you see price coming back to it. Okay, now we're definitely bullish, bearish. You try to take some aggressive trade right here, you get stopped out because this is an inducement. Okay, the secondary highs and lows that I was mentioning, kind of what's there's here. Okay, the price just sweeps it and then finally goes down and retests the initial order block. Okay, so maybe here, if you only go for initial ones, you got yourself a win here, because smart money traders are not always losing, but because sometimes you gotta let them win in order for them to continue to do the same mistakes, right? Because if we let them lose, if market makers will let them lose every single time, then they will stop trading this way. But because they get because they get fed like 1 out of 10 times, they continue to do it because they always remembering that win. But they already lost 4, 5R just on these trades. Okay, just on these trades, they already lost 5R, and then here maybe they made 3. But yeah, notice how you just gotta lose 5 just to get a win on the movement that you were already predicting. Just have to calm down. Like, okay, have a lot of patience to see the liquidity get taken, watch the market go your way, make yourself not positioning there, and wait for you for your initial trade to get stopped out, the one that you didn't took, the one that you were supposed to take and didn't took. You watch it get stopped out, and then you place yourself. Because the first sweep is usually a trap. The first breaker structure, change the character, will most likely be a trap. And the second one is the correct one where you can position yourself. Again, this is not with much detail, but you can go watch the rest of my videos, okay? And just not to promote them, but there is a lot of value in there. And you can check a lot of examples on this, which I'm always talking about, okay? I'm not just hopping from strategy to strategy, from trend to trend. Okay, this has been my strategy for the last few years and how I've been able to master it. Okay, hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys find value out of this. Don't hesitate in rewatching it, in backtesting these levels right here, this chart right here, and go see if you would have fallen from some traps on or not. Okay, peace out, guys.